Hello everybody, Zabian here, and this is a new series called Real Thoughts. Now I came across the idea for this when I realised that my discussions were they're more supposed to be about the content and etc. But more about like an emergency conversation when something big is happening in the World of Warcraft. And I really wanted to separate opinion-based ideas from the actual discussion videos, so this is what Real Thoughts are. And I thought it appropriate to do one about Legion since that has just been announced yesterday. And I did a video about that, I did a discussion video showing all the content and etc, etc, etc. But anyway, let's get started with Legion. Okay, so the reveal, pretty damn nice. We started off with a WoD cinematic, which was rather confusing, so I was like, okay, we know what happened in WoD. Don't know why you have to make a small cinematic to show us, but then we moved on to a proper little teaser cinematic, which it was just like a little snippet of Gul'dan at the Tomb of Sargeras just freeing Illidan. And I was just like, what? Illidan? Like everyone in the audience, you could see them, like they were just their faces kind of lit up a bit, and everyone was cheering and everything when we saw the symbols glowing on Illidan's body from behind the green kind of chamber, like prison kind of thing, and that's what that kind of was. So yeah, Illidan, pretty damn nice concept. Everyone's really been looking for him to come back, and now they've taken him back apparently. I can't really see where he'll fit in. Is he going to be another fight? Is he going to be like the class trainer for the Demon Hunters? Don't really know as of yet. So the new zone, the Broken Isles, it looked pretty damn nice. Some of the artwork. Dalaran is coming back. One of the more popular major cities is coming back, and I wanted to see this for a long time. I gotta say, everything in the Broken Isles looked pretty damn good, what they've shown us so far. There was a tree with like his face, like he had a face and he was speaking or whatever, and it looked it was pretty original. Some torrents with like antlers, and I thought that looked absolutely brilliant. So, onto the new class. The new class, of course, being Demon Hunter. And this class has two specs instead of 3 or 4 or 5 or how many, and it is a DPS spec and a tank spec, the tank being Vengeance and Havoc being DPS. Now we did actually get to see a little bit of footage from the point of view of a Demon Hunter playing in the starting zone for Demon Hunters, and it looked pretty damn good. They killed 3 mobs. I mean, they didn't show much. They didn't want to show us too much, but they showed us 3 mobs being killed, and the AOE damage on that looked bloody insane when you looked at it, because they were just all, it was like you can rush right through them, like slice them all like a ninja, and then you can come back and then you can hit them all at once or whatever with some AOE damage, and that killed them all. And I really did look the like of Demon Hunter, and I am actually thinking about making that my main character in the next expansion. Assuming they don't mess up that expansion, of course. Moving on with artifacts. Okay, yeah, artifacts. I love the idea. I love the idea of being able to have a legendary weapon. And you go around with this legendary weapon, I don't know if it's like you start with it now in the game, from the very beginning you get it, or if it only happens at level 110, or maybe it doesn't even happen at the very start of level 110, and you actually have to like quest for something to get your one. Well, obviously you have to do something to get your weapon, surely. I think they did mention that, it was like a class order or something. And you can access this and you can upgrade it with your power points. Don't really know how the power points are gonna work so far. Is it gonna be from quests, dungeons, raids? Well, they said they can get power points from dungeons and raids, I think. I think that's pretty much the only confirmed one, but the point is, can you get it from anywhere? Or is it gonna be you have to do specific things like quests, like Apexis dailies, which not many people liked. Especially me. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with that. And you also get these class buildings. So after you get your legendary weapon, you can then go to your class buildings. And these class buildings are they're separated out. They're separated out all across the bit, so that the classes don't even feel like they're all just hunched together into one main scene. It's not there anymore. And you can just go to your own bit. You can have some fun there, and maybe learn a bit more about your class. I don't really know. They didn't really mention too much about it. They only showed the paladin one, which is pretty good. But I like the idea of having your own kind of building, your own place. I mean, Death Knights they already had. What other class had? The monks. Monks had it as well. They had their own little home bit. So I don't know if I think the Death Knights will get a new building, a new place to go, and the monks as well. But we'll see. We'll see. So the new PvP system. It looks good. I'm quite excited to see what they're gonna do with it. But they've got like this new talent system. I'm not too sure if it's going to be like a separate system. Is it going to be like you have one for PvP, one for PvE? Or is it going to be the same system where we're just going to get all bundled up with new abilities and it's going to be a bit of a mess to start off with until everyone gets used to it? You're also going to get ranks. Ranks are great. I love the ranks. I love the ranks idea because it gives you a little bit more to do while you're playing PvP. And of course after that you can prestige. Now, I will say this, it does seem a lot like other Activision games, such as Call of Duty, which I do play every now and then, I'll admit that. Not very often anymore at all, but it is a lot like that, and that was like the system that I always liked from that game. I always loved that system, where you could go up some levels, prestige, you go back, you get more. It's still a challenge as you go up. You have to get and the further on you go, it shows how more experienced you are. Right, so dungeons. Okay, this one in WoD was a complete flop. They failed. They didn't give us any reason to go back into the HC dungeons. Then they created mythic dungeons out of nowhere, really, and gave us some overpowered gear for basically doing jack shit. And that was that wasn't very good of them. But now they said they're gonna focus more on dungeons, and they've actually announced a total of 9 new dungeons. Yeah, I like the sound of what's going on here, but again, I'm not gonna really believe it until I see it. It's one of those things that Blizz have promised it, but I don't believe them yet. I've got to see where they're going with this. If they're gonna actually follow through with their master plan, per se. Not gonna go too in depth with the dungeons, to be honest. I mean, I'm going by the assumption that everyone's seen the live stream or my video that I made before with all the info of that. So raids. There was two raids announced. They sound pretty damn good. There was the Emerald Nightmare. Now, I've only been playing since Mop myself, but I've heard a lot of people talk about the Emerald Dream, and the Emerald Nightmare being like a bad place where we haven't really dealt with it. And Zabian is like, "Ooh, you gotta do. I'm gonna unleash the Emerald Nightmare into the world." And yeah, we're gonna go into a raid and deal with that, and that sounds pretty damn cool. Now, the second raid. One notably as the one where you finally kill Gul'dan. That asshole is finally put to rest. His head on a spike, gone. He's dealt with. We can move on. They didn't announce any more raids other than these two, but it's a bit of a shaky thing. They might announce more. Again, this is only the reveal. There could be so much more to come in. So, initial thoughts over the whole reveal. Well, I really think the start was a bit meh, and then as they went along and showed everything, it kind of all came together. But one concern I have, one major concern, is artifacts. Okay, yeah, they're cool, they're legendary, they're cool, but are they going to completely replace weapon drops? Are we gonna just be able to use them for everything, or are we gonna have, like, well, raids and dungeons use different weapons? Like, you can't use them for certain things. Obviously, they probably would have it that you use it for everything, but the thing is, a weapon is a special drop. A weapon's is the drop that gets you excited, besides other things. Like, like a damn trinket. In MOP, in SOO, I was grinding for months to get my trinkets, and when I finally got them, bearing in mind it was only 2 weeks until WoD came out, I was pretty happy for 2 weeks, and then I got bored, and then I stopped playing until WoD. So yeah, I'm a bit worried that it'll completely replace weapons drops, and that kind of takes the fun out of that. Sure, you get these cool legendary weapons, but you're not really getting it as a drop. I mean, they could make it that you get, like, new secret upgrades, new models, new customizations dropped instead, which could boost the damage rate or whatever of your weapon. But I highly doubt they're gonna do that. So anyway, this has been the first episode of Real Thoughts. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. If you did like the video and you want to see more, then please like and subscribe. And as for the rest of your day, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.